What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua, and welcome to a conversation with Joshua T Berglan and Chad Lewine. This is going to be an awesome broadcast. I'm so excited to have him on. We just connected the other day, but we have a very similar mission with what we want to do in media, what we want to do in entertainment, and really what we want to do for the world as a service. I cannot wait for you all to hear this. I'm just, again, really excited. A super accomplished guy. I want to read you a little bit about his mission, and I typically don't read bios, but I want to give you some context here before we get started. His mission: protecting the sanctity of music. My mission on earth this time around is to protect the vulnerable and lead an effort to heal the mainstream, specifically the music industry. The majority of music being fed to our youth is not only tasteless, it's toxic. Media, all entertainment, is being used to desensitize and keep us complacent. Every song I compose, lyric I write, and note I sing is with the intention of awakening both the individual listener and the collective mainstream, to bring awareness of how music affects us on a subconscious level. This is awesome. I'm giddy. I had the opportunity several years ago to introduce Speech from Arrested Development, or got to interview him. And his documentary, In Factory, is powerful. If you want to understand how the music industry works, watch that documentary. But I have a feeling our guest here today has got his own lesson to teach all of us. He's worked with some of the most amazing artists you've ever heard of. I'll let him talk about that. But anyway, without going too much into it, Chad's just awesome. So I'm excited for you all to be here. But I also want to mention one thing. I'm really excited to announce this because this is the first time I've ever talked about it publicly. Not just Media Company in a Box, but if you go to joshuatberglan.com, and I'm congested, so let me spell my last name: Berglan, Joshua T, as in Tyler, Berglan.com. Go there. And one of the very first things you'll see on the website, after you get past my bio, I believe it is, Buy One, Give One. Buy One, Give One is a new program with every service that I offer on my website. There's a chance to buy one and give one, and you get to decide who gets that one. Now, that's Media Company in a Box. You can get Media Company in a Box team, which is awesome. And again, I'm all about the independent solo media company in a box. But for those of you who want to build teams, I got Media Company in a Box team. And that is also Buy One, Give One. Media consulting, Buy One, Give One. Memberships to my content because, well, we're behind a paywall because it's not free anymore. Buy One, Give One. Everything's Buy One, Give One. And the benefactor of this is the Live Model Worldwide Foundation, my wife and I's nonprofit media company. Now, why does this matter? Because look, the services that we offer they're not cheap. However, they matter and it's needed. And so from now on, like I've never been somebody that loves sales or anything. I'm here to provide a service. I'm here to help other people. I'm here to try to impact lives in all of the ways that I'm able. And one of those is through media. There's a lot of people out there that have the money to pay for these services. So to make it even better, you can pay for it, but then you also get the opportunity to gift someone else, because there's a lot of people out there right now that don't have the money for an education, to go to college. Oh, they'll go get a student loan. Yeah, that's a good investment. Look, there are people out there that are coming out of prison. There's people that have been in prison. There are people that can't get a job because of their past, their record, like me. I can't get a regular job. And all the bad stuff I did was 7 years ago. I'm retired from that life. And it's not like I can go get a regular job, but thank God for media and thank God for what I get to teach, because it's allowed me to live the life of my dreams. So I don't want to leave anyone behind. And there's a lot of people out there that can't afford me, but there's a lot of you that can. And that's to make you all feel better. We have the Buy One, Get One program. And I would love for you to engage in it, and you get to choose who the benefactor of that is. So again, go to joshuatberglan.com and you can check all that out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. And more importantly, thank you for being a part of this broadcast, because I'm telling you, Chad's awesome. This is going to be fantastic. Welcome him to the broadcast, please. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a conversation. Yeah,
we got it.
Wow, if you could only see what happened before all this. My hesitation of saying, I even told him I was going to call him Matt. I'm not editing this out either. Welcome to the broadcast, my friend. And here's the thing. Please don't take any disrespect to me screwing up your name, because I am a huge fan already. I've been listening to your music. I've been reading what you're all about. I've actually done more looking into you than I do most guests, because typically the way I like to do interviews is different. But my goodness, man, not only do we have a very similar mission, I admire the talent that you are, the music, the heart that you put into your lyrics, and just the stand that you're making. You're making very bold moves and statements, and a bold mission that's super important, because let's face it, we're all influenced by media and the music industry and the world of entertainment. So your mission, man, it just speaks to my heart. So I am honored to have you here. But before we get into all that, what are you grateful for today, and why?
Very specifically, I'm for the technology that we have to be able to do this. Specifically, this Pivo sitting in front of me that gives me amazing content like that. To be able to do what this $100 machine does cost thousands of dollars 5 years ago. It may seem petty or superficial to people that don't work in the industry. I'm grateful for a little toy. But what it produces is immense. So today, right now, that's what I'm grateful for.
I'm grateful for that too, because I think about, as an artist, you never want to copy someone else's work. Of course, stealing is flattery, but really, I believe a true artist wants to create the way their spirit leads them to create. And so with so many new talk shows and podcast hosts and other things like that, a lot of the content that's created all looks the same. And you get the talking head. So like the camera that you're speaking of, I've got my own version of a camera. And like just this simple thing, being able to walk around while I broadcast, right? That allows me to diversify and try new things and create new things. And of course, when I move, my green screen doesn't always work. That's part of it, man. It's
that
like
is part of
the
it.
Process. And yeah, so I get you. Without technology, I would not be able to have stepped into the world of media the way that I have and start doing what I'm doing. So I'm grateful for it as well. And let me ask you this. Hasn't technology also been like an amazing equalizer for just like for Hollywood, the world of entertainment, like the people that are established and they can go get signed and all of that stuff. But for independent, free thinking people, technology has leveled the playing field.
Saying it like that makes it click. Yes, it has leveled the playing field for people that don't want to sell out. And sell out is a broad term, right? It's not necessarily a bad word. We all think it's a bad word, but it's the easiest way to get across the point of, yes, people that don't want to sell out, because money is involved in art. It's an equalizer in a way.
I love that, man. So when did you start your music journey? Because I know, look, you have a lot of really amazing, cool things going on, but at the heart of it all, it seems to be music. So tell me about your musical journey.
Just this week, I uploaded my very first productions as a original artist, songwriter. That was 2010 that they were mostly produced and not released. But so that's where it starts, really, in 2009, when I decided that I would try to do this. I always knew growing up that I had a talent. I always performed. But I turned 18 and I thought that my time was over. Why I thought that is a whole conversation that I haven't fully explored. But I thought it was over, and I was like, well, I'll just go be whatever. I'll go to college. I'll go for advertising. I'll just be a person in the machine. And I really told myself that, and I accepted it. Then, fortunately, I had a supportive partner during that time, right after high school into college, where they were like, you can do this. Just do it. And that was when it really started as a professional endeavor.
it seems, and you saying that reminds me, it's okay, you're 18 now, you graduate high school. Now it's time to go get serious about your life. And like that is, it almost seems like that trip to college is where your dreams go to die. Unless
Yup.
to be an attorney, a doctor, or something like that. But for other people, that's where you go to die.
Yep. And I'm glad I didn't go to music school or art school. I didn't even have a clear concept that those were things. I didn't really know that you could go to an academic college for an art. And I'm glad that I was protected from that idea. For whatever reason, the higher power protected me from that, because I would have lost my interest in the only thing that I care about in this life in a way. And it happens to kids every day that they go in thinking they're all creative, and they are, and then we've turned art into a degree. That doesn't make sense to me.
You know what? I never thought about that either. Yeah, you're right.
And I learned this because I hung around NYU and whatever that music little internal like recording music school is called. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name. It's a famous person. But all these kids go in, and we've gotten superstars from places like that. Places like NYU and their recording arts program, but 1% make it. The rest of them have to figure it out. But everyone's promised the dream when they enter, but only one gets it every year.
That's like getting into plastic surgery school. That's going into the NFL. It's very similar, but it seems that it's because only few fit into their system of what they want.
It's still a system, yes.
It's still a system, and you still set yourself up for some form of slavery, no matter what.
Yes.
And yet this other path, the true artist path, is disruptive, it's ugly, it's nasty, it's painful, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's weird, but yet it's also the most authentic expression of human life there is, the life of an artist.
Yes.
And I've only recently started to fully embrace that part of myself, which is the part of myself that has always wanted to come out and play. And I've exercised it a little bit, but I've still held firm into these traditions and the things that I was taught growing up. Well, you got to have a job, and you got to do things this way, and you got to do. I finally have gotten completely free of all that, and really have just immersed myself in art, of what my form of art is. And now I believe that everyone's got some artistic ability. It's just how you express it and where you find to put it. But I want to ask you, like, because what I've noticed now as really opening myself up as an artist, and my wife is the same way, and even our kids are this way. You mentioned higher high power. Okay. So for me, and we'll just use higher power for the sake of this conversation, I've noticed that the more in the art I am, the closer I feel to the creator. What is that like for you in your art process?
Yeah. I believe anything that you create is art. Science is art, math is art. Anything that comes from the human mind that's new is art. That's what I want to expose to the world. And because people that are, I'm backing up a little bit, zooming out, people that don't believe they're artists don't have an easy way to connect.
Oh, wow.
If you don't consider yourself an artist, you don't know what that's like. You don't know what you're missing. You're missing something unless you find it somewhere else. But also, if you find a passion, whether that's science in the lab, whether that's math on a chalkboard or writing, whether that's an author on books, if you're in the flow, you're connected to God. You're connected to higher power. When you are in the flow of whatever you're doing, if you're playing video games and you really like that, we're not talking about first-person shooters. That's a whole other thing. But if you're playing Tetris or whatever, if you become into a meditative state, that's the same exact state that artists use to pull down their whatever and then turn it into whatever their art is. So I get that most clearly when I'm always open. I've learned to I am living that way. So I'm open to constant downloads. I don't love that word, but it's a way to say it, like in this terms of writing a song.
What do you like better, though? Because I don't like downloads either, because it seems to industrialize the spirit world in a way that makes it seem not real.
Yeah, let's take that away. It's inspiration. It's inspiration. Inspiration is an unexplained phenomenon in humanity. It's like a spark of inspiration. So that's what it is. That's the being connected. When you're inspired, you're open to the infinite source and knowledge of the universe. That's whatever you want to find out, you can find out that way. When I'm having a thought, feeling, or emotion that's running around my head and it comes out in words, it's strong enough to come out in words or a melody, that's the art. That's where the art, the thought, the feeling becomes a physical manifestation that you can turn into art that's consumable by other humans.
That's good. Wow, that's good, man.
Thank you.
All right, I want to get into some of the conspiracy people love these conversations.
Yeah.
It's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's a real issue, and the entertainment industry is effed up. It's had huge influence. I remember when I was growing up, I'm 43 years old. I remember when The Simpsons first came out, and I remember my t-shirt that said, "Eat a shirt, man." And I remember that being offensive, or "eat my shorts," or something like that.
Eat my shorts.
That was offensive. And then it graduated from that to people that were marching outside of Marilyn Manson concerts for the Antichrist Superstar concert because he was scary and the devil. Wow, how times have changed, like where we've gone. It's the industry itself is very different, but the influence that it has on people, I don't know how anyone could question it. It changes the clothes we wear, the way we talk, how much boobs we show, whatever. It's just influential in all aspects, and it's by design. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. However, if you're consuming toxic crap, guess what's getting programmed into you? That said, not everybody wakes up and says, "This is evil, this is screwed up, this is causing harm. I want to fight against it." And that's what you've decided to do, which is not a popular path in the music industry. So what sparked this mission for you?
Lots of thoughts right there. The spark came from so I always knew music was more than a record. And I've never said it that way before. I like that. I'm going to snip that one. Music has existed since the dawn of time. Okay? Records are 50 freaking years old. Let's put that into perspective. The recorded music is only a child. Music itself is an ancient Yoda-aged character. So I've known music is powerful, and I have grown from day one, from 5 years old. I felt it, I allowed it to influence me, I allowed myself to understand that it can influence me. I curated all the music I listened to all the time since I was young. And so the spark for doing music I was never without. The industry becoming a thing, I like to point to, and I am like totally developing, enemies on the way, but I've actually finally I'm not even going to say who, I am going to say who, but the way I talk to myself, I'm trying to watch how I talk to myself. I don't know who's going to be my enemy because people I'm calling out might be on my side at this point. Okay? And that's what I'm going to say. No, that's another thing, that artists themselves are not inherently bad or influential. It's the song. When we're talking about songs, we're not talking about brands. We're talking about the actual music itself. The artist itself is not the influence. It's the song, because I can make an angry song. I can make a crap song, but I can also, artists on the charts make inspirational songs. The same artist will turn around and make a toxic song. That's what I mean by songs are pop for good, which is my whole movement. Pop for good is about the songs, not the artists, although some artists can be more than others. So between 2010 and 2013, when mumble rap came around, I knew there was a problem. It's so funny, people always laugh, and I'm like, yeah, I was laughing back then. Because I'm like,
me too, but
yeah, no one says it. But you laughing because you know it too. That's when I was like, oh, shoot. Can I curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
That's when I was like, there's something wrong here. And at the same time, I was upping my spiritual knowledge. I was in a toxic positivity state for quite a few years, but that was the same time where I began the fight. Go ahead.
Okay, you said toxic positivity. So there is actually, this is interesting. This ties into religion.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't know what this is called. Help me. The reason why I stopped you, because I want to know what this is. But there's the belief, and they've done some research and studies, like when people get quote unquote saved by whatever the religion is, they go through this awakening of sorts that actually makes them toxic. Like it's not real. Like it's this feelings and the feeling of I'm going to save the world now, and I'm going to wrong all my rights. Like I forgot what the term is, but it causes something psychologically that causes us to have this grandiose belief of what we're here to do in the world, how we're going to change the world, how we're going to save all these souls, and so on. But it takes us so far out of center that we lose sight of reality. Have you heard about this?
So yes, is it false light?
It ties into yeah, but that's the thing, is those same people accuse everybody else of being false light. That's the other part of the
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. When you're talking about organized religion, I don't know that word. All I can think about is false light, but it's a similar thing.
It's very similar, because what it does is it causes us.
It makes the ego. Boop!
Exactly. And everything around you is, you're a fake God. You're not real. You're not this. You're not as good as I am.
Yes,
it's a psychological condition.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
Psychological. It's not narcissism, but and I'm not trying to, I don't think I know exactly what you're talking about, but that is the ego just goes into overdrive and you don't actually do the work.
You're explaining it. You're explaining it perfectly. Yeah.
Yes. And I've been through that. And I just did it through spirituality and New Age. And
Me too.
Yeah. And I came back around, and to just put a cap on that one, like all the work that you do is all the work that you do during that toxic positive or false light state is still good work once you strip the ego.
Yes.
So like anyone listening, keep it in mind if you're figuring that out. All the work you're doing is good, but that's the explanation of why you might not be getting where you want to go.
Okay. You literally just took the parts that we couldn't figure out. You completed it. That was good. Because that was the other part of that, of what that is. It's the ego. We got to remove the ego, because when you remove ego, you're not arguing over scripture. You're not arguing over whether your theology is the right theology or not, because frankly, you don't have the energy or the time for any of that, because you realize that none of that stuff's even important. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping anyone heal. You're not really, really showing up the way that you should for people, because you're looking at them through a condemning lens. Yeah. Nailed it. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, keep going.
Now, next topic, because I don't know where we're going.
Oh, I don't know.
Where were we?
We were thought that I interrupted on.
Oh yeah, what was that? That was about Migos and Quavo and Future saying da-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da-da. Sorry guys, but that's what you were doing. And I'm glad you made your money, and I feel whatever. They might not even care, but I know I'm going to piss some people off. But I've come, thankfully, in the last year to not caring, because not caring.
But you've worked. It's not like you're saying this as somebody that's looking on the outside of the music industry. You've been in the music industry and you've worked with major artists. So it's not like you're sitting around like you're saying any of this out of jealousy or spite. You're saying it as you're a true musician and you know how messed up this is.
Yeah. I want to say that I have been in circles with major artists. Yes. I have not, just to be super clear, I haven't been in a room with a major artist, but I have worked by a few. I've been around it, and is also besides the point. I just don't want to. I want people, whatever. See, I have this obsession with getting the whole picture right. Forget it. No. Yes, I've been around major artists in ways. Yes, but more importantly, I've been around the industry enough. I've been in it. Just because I don't have the streams to show it doesn't mean I haven't accomplished the knowledge that everyone else has.
Yeah, because all you have to do is be on set of a video or a commercial, a TV show or a movie, and you can pick up on things pretty quick, especially if you're self-aware, especially music industry.
And it's going to be 15 years this year that since 2008, that'll be 15 years that I have been in the industry. Whether or not I'm successful as an artist is irrelevant. I've been in the industry, and it's taken me 10 years to admit that to myself, that I am in the industry, just because I'm not what they to a point where I think I need to be doesn't mean I'm not in it.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I do. And I think that the people that are doing things the right way and are leading with that, like letting their intentions known, it causes a lot of friction. It closes a lot of doors. It shuts the window of opportunity, at least temporarily, for a lot of people. However, I do believe with a lot of the stuff that's happening in the world, like all that's going to get flipped on its head. And the people that are trying to show up and do things the right way and not pollute the minds of our youth, I believe that they're going to get on the come up. But I want to preface this by saying the people that say that Christian music is the only way, that's the only good music for your kids to listen to, first of all, never mind. I don't want to make anyone mad yet. I'm not in the mood to be mad today. But that argument's crap because, look, some of that Christian music stuff is bathed in Satan as much as anything else. It's not all in the up and up. Let's just put it that way. Christian music is messed up.
It's still in the industry.
But that doesn't mean that you can't have spirit-filled music, uplifting, raise your vibe music, things that lift you up, that light up your spirit. That can happen in the secular realm as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can, but everyone's convinced that it got finish.
No, I did finish.
That's yeah. That's another part of for a period of time, even very short period of time, but was like pitching to Christian a little bit. I tried everything. So I considered myself New Age. I considered myself spiritual. I considered myself alternative. I considered myself whatever. I tried everything. So one of those things was trying to see if I could get some attention in the Christian world. I didn't try enough and probably wouldn't have, but
I learned to DJ a couple summers ago, and gospel house was my jam. And I figured there's not enough gospel house artists out there, and this is a freaking awesome genre. I love house music. You put some old school gospel on top of it, you're like,
yep.
Oh, this is amazing. I love this. That's what I would have done with it. He's got busy doing other things. I want to ask you though about no, I lost the question. But this is staying on the side of Christian. Oh, now you know what it is. Because you were saying New Age, and then you have the religious names like Christian and Buddhist and atheist and Hindu and all of this other stuff. But what is it called when you just go, I know there is a God, there's a creator. I know he dwells inside of me. I believe the Christ is inside of me. I believe that, and that's it. Like, I don't subscribe. Like, what some people look at that and say that's New Age. Like, no, because in the Bible it says that God is inside of me and Christ is inside of me and God is everywhere. So that's not it. But at the same time, I also don't believe the Bible or any of these religious texts have every single word correct. I don't believe it's the complete truth. I believe that man corrupted and polluted a lot of those books. But at the same time, I believe that you can go read those books and get a lot of knowledge and you can learn things that can absolutely change your life. But ultimately, the only truth that any of us really can know is the truth that comes from inside of us. What religion is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's my religion now. Like, that's where I'm at. And I've been known as an evangelist because I was speaking doing the Saturday night services at a church. And I got caught up in all that because ultimately that's how my life turned around, was through crying out to God and surrendering my life to God.
Christian God.
The Christian God. And I literally, because that's what I knew, that's where I went to. But the more that I've learned about the history of the Bible and how it was put together, and I started seeing, let's talk about this. The word homosexual wasn't put in the Bible until 100 years ago. The word was not invented until 150 years ago. Yet we have people burning, setting people on fire, killing people, protesting, marching, spewing hate, causing problem, people getting kicked out of their homes. Let's talk about the actual people that are gay or bisexual. We have the shame of family, friends, people that we love. We have society looking at us. And that none of that is bringing me closer to God. If anything, making me want to run from that. None of this is good. So we've had religion weaponized against people, and it's ugly. It's so awful. And listen, I still love so much of what I learned from my faith and from the Bible, but I also recognize that it's also being used to hurt a lot of people. There's a bunch of contradictions, and it's just gross. And like, for people to say there's no contradictions, you haven't read the Bible. There's 50,000 contradictions in the Bible. There's 101 that are really easy to digest too. But if there was only 2 contradictions,
Yep.
that's a problem. But there's 50,000. There's 50,000 on top of that if it's the word of God. And why do they keep changing it? If the word of God doesn't change, then why are we changing it? So I'm not trying to bash religion or bash people's beliefs. I'm just grateful to be outside of that, because the world looks a lot much different from up here than it does fighting over scripture and fighting over my God's, yours is wrong, and all that other stuff. It's exhausting. I don't know what the point of that was. I just wanted to bring it up, I think.
It's important to be brought up. What I've discovered is that those top 3 religions are the Abrahamic religions, right?
Yeah.
So they all share one thing, that it all came from Abraham, right? And I am heavily influenced, and most of my lifestyle mindset is from the Law of Attraction, The Secret, Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. Also, I was in a cult, which I learned a lot, but it was still ended up being a cult. So I've got a substantial foundation on what these religions all get their information from, which is just source energy. Jesus existed. I believe that.
I do too.
But so did Muhammad, and so did Moses, and whatever.
So did Buddha.
They are all the same, receiving the exact same download. They're receiving the same thing. And we just didn't have, because I'm just figuring this out now, because we had humans growing up all around the world without knowing each other. And whatever reason, by the time they knew each other, they were already in a state of lack where they needed to keep their boundaries. But it's all the same. Oh, and Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction, they say that they are the same entity, the same energy, the same God energy, the same wisdom that the 3 Abrahamic religions got their information from. So it all comes from the same place. It's just, like you said, been boxed differently.
Yeah.
And the internet has changed that. The internet has changed everything, but that's a huge one why religion is going away, because we have more information.
Yeah, and I'm reading a book right now, and it's basically Jesus and Buddha. And the message of the book is all intertwined together. And I'm getting to read this and I'm thinking, these are so similar. It's 2 sides of the story from different perspectives, all saying the same thing, all leading to the same place, that the kingdom of heaven is inside of us.
Yes.
And you follow these principles and you live this way, and this is how you experience heaven on earth.
Yes.
Every religion does it. Every major religion does this. And I'm sure Satanism has a version of it too. And then you start researching about, sexual transmutation, which sounds like mutated sex, but it's not. It's like it's a whole metaphysical process. But like, when I'm learning about this, no wonder I don't want to waste my seed. And no wonder I don't want to just go, I was a 20-year chemsex addict. So like, I've always put my seed in, never mind, I'm not going to go too much.
I get it.
Yeah, but I'm doing all the bad stuff. It's changing energy with people I have no business changing energy with. It's changing it with me either, for the record. Like, it was all bad and all toxic. So like, it's helped me reframe my body as a temple. Now that I fully recognize that I've got God in here, the way I speak to you, and the way that I talk to you, the way that I give you my attention or not, is a reflection of how that's the God that lives in me. Like, I have to remember that. And so that change and shift has helped me take care and be more conscious about what I'm eating, what I'm taking into my body, because that matters too, man. I'm not a woo-woo weirdo at all. No, I take that back. I am very much a weirdo, but I'm not real. But that said, I started to go, if I'm going to be aware of what I'm putting in my body, and I don't know exactly what's in that meat, maybe I shouldn't eat that. Maybe if that animal was freaking if we're all energy, I don't think I need to be putting that dead cow in me. It's I've started to really just be aware of things that I was not aware of before. And I used to think that I was an aware guy. But it's changed. Like, even been eating vegetarian for only a week and a half, right? So I'm not like pat me on the back, hey, I'm a hero, I'm a champion. I don't need any of that. But I got to tell you, it's been very it's been a very
How do you feel?
heart-opening thing. Heart-opening. Compassion.
Yes.
My energy, and I'm not talking about physical energy because I've been a mess the last week. I threw a rib out of place. But energetically, my thoughts, my mind is more clear, and the desire to love, and also my desire for violence has also gone away because I enjoy mixing it up as much as anybody. I love to fight. I love the adrenaline rush because it's like doing cocaine. It's the same feeling for me. And so I've been addicted to that. So I could look for things to get pissed off about. But I realized in this week and a half, which is a weird thing, but in a week and a half only, my mind has even shifted with this, is that I can still kick your ass, but I can be nice about it too. I don't need to be so aggressive. I can be aggressive without being aggressive. I can fight with just as much power, actually more power, and I don't need to be so aggressive to do that. I'm learning like weird things about myself that I didn't know before, all because I changed food.
Yes.
It's crazy how that works.
I did that.
Do you eat the same way?
Yeah, I did that in 2016. I eat fish. I still eat fish because I need so much protein, and it's an inside joke with my friends.
That's what that joke is.
No, just the fact that I need just the fact that I need so much literal protein to get through my day that I don't want to eat that much tofu and beans and whatever. But I got you. Been there, but not for 20 years. 10 years.
Oh,
so
man.
yes, the energy traveling from death of animal, however the animal is raised, the energy's trapped there, and then you consume it, and then you feel the rage, you feel the fear, you feel whatever it is, and it comes through in if you let yourself watch things. It comes through in how you let people affect you, exactly. And I felt the same way. I don't even need to repeat it. What you said, I experienced, and I continue to experience to this day.
So it's also changed. This is going to sound weird, and I don't know if it's a coincidence or
it's not
thing or not, but it's also changed my sexual energy, meaning I'm in more control of it. It doesn't feel as aggressive, but I'm still me, and my sexuality is what it is. But how that primal part of me that needed to conquer,
dominate, yep,
is gone away a little bit. And I don't know if it's temporary or not, because my hormones have gone through the roof, but the aggressive nature and that I gotta give you that part is gone away, and that's even felt more loving now, if that makes sense.
100%.
Am I growing boobs? Is that what it is? Am I gonna start menstruating?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Overarching problem with the world is that the male female energy is imbalanced, and it just shows up. It just shows up in all human existence, and it's imbalanced in the music industry, and it's imbalanced in the entertainment industry, and it's imbalanced in dating in relationships. The toxic male is the king right now, and I think we're getting tired of it. It's not a secret anymore, but that desire to dominate, and that desire to dominate comes from a lack of self-value, self-love, self-worth. You feel like you need to dominate. We need to dominate as a country, from all the way from dominating as a country, dominating as an industry, down to dominating my next door neighbor, down to dominating my partner, down to dominating my date, whatever it is. The other thing is there are the other side of that, people that want to be dominated, countries that want to be dominated. Like there is the other side, and I'm learning this too, that you need both for it to happen. Like there are people that let themselves, and then we're getting into like law of attraction, and people attract everything that comes to them, even if it's a bad thing. But what you're feeling is you have pushed off the aggressive, toxic masculinity, and that is what needs to happen in the world, because there's nothing wrong with it. You're not going to grow boobs. You're not becoming a female just because you are more compassionate. And I'm talking to everyone else. You get it, but you're not. When men are so afraid of being any female trait, and this is, I'm going off a little bit now,
It's
but
okay.
it makes, no, it's expanding. I'm not going off. It's expanding. So I am gay. I have been the one, not like, I'm not looking to be dominated, but I play that more of a role in that way. And I hate top
Which can be
bottom.
healthy.
Yeah. And I hate the labels. Like I hate the top bottom labels in the gay community because people identify their entire lives based on it. I get it as a tool to have sex. I get that. But I hate how prevalent it is as an identity for your whole entire identity. But I have been learning that I have only had okay, wait, trying to match this up. Somehow I got onto the wave because I'm gay, so I like the male energy. Most of the world has been attracted to this to the masculine, to the ultra masculine that has been building up for the last 100 years. It's not it goes up and down. In the Renaissance, a feminine man was powerful, right? There was a balance. But in the Roman times, like a man was a man. Although that's not even true. I think overall, the masculinity level goes up and down, and I think balance is a state, but we're imbalanced right now. In my own life, in the past couple of months, really even, I've been looking at why I've been so obsessed with that ultra male, ultra masculine thing, and it's because of whatever it is. But it is toxic. It has not helped me. I've never had a positive relationship with an ultra masculine male. I also know that it's because. And then the overarching problem with the world is that it's out of balance. So the more, but it only can start with individuals balancing themselves. And it's not being gay or straight. It's not sexuality. It's just male-female energy. There's plenty of women, like we call women that have lots of male energy bitches or
butch.
There's the male and female energy have nothing to do with gender. Male energy is the sword, right? The phallus, the sword, and female energy is the circle or the seed or whatever, like the yin and the yang. They each have a purpose. It's more like yin and yang, and we've picturized it, we've personified it into male is aggressive and dominant, and women is soft and sensitive, which is true, but it's like the extremes of those. So male has no sensitivity, female has no dominance, but that's wrong. They can both have they bring different things, and I'm not prepared to explain the different things because I don't know them well enough, but you're getting it. That it's not about that. My point is that there's plenty of women that are feminine but are in male energy. There's plenty of men that are masculine that are in female energy.
I've heard a little bit about that, and it's still a new thing for me. And
the world is not ready to understand that. You are.
I know I'm ready to because here's the thing. I don't even believe that men were the real dominant powers in previous generations. Like
Cleopatra.
Yeah. I've read the Book of Lilith, and some people could say that's a fairy tale. I mean, in theory, it all could be a fairy tale. But the Book of Lilith, when you read it, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me. And some of these civilizations that were wiped off the planet. And I'm just looking at the asset that my own wife is in my life and the role that she plays. And yes. I'm going, how is she really not the head of the household? Like, how is she twisted into the man is? Because this ain't my house. This may be my basement. Like, I got the basement, but the house is hers. Like, and when it comes to the kids, I'm there. I'm in full support. I'm very engaged. I love those children, and I'm there. But ultimately, she's the boss there, too. And I got no problem with it. And I understand my role. I play my role in the family, and I play my part, and I do my share, and we have an amazing relationship because of it. But it's not, now I'm the man, damn it. Yeah. And you're going to do what I say. This is how I say it's done. This is my house. You're going to do it. Like, I grew up with that shit, and let me tell you, it made me crazy. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with my kids.
Nope.
No. So I think what you're saying is, I do believe there's a lack of balance, and this makes sense. And here's another thing too. How it's so weird for me, because I like to shoot guns. I don't want to shoot anything, but I like to shoot guns because it feels awesome. But I don't want to kill anything. And so, when I see people like America, Bud Light, and shotguns, and girls with big tits and a Bible, like, That's like the meme of America. Guns, the American flag, boobs,
By four.
in a 4x4. And I'm thinking, not everybody's into that. I'm not into that. I'll drive all that and have fun, and I like boobs a lot. But the fact that is a status symbol is, it just really, to me, is a meme of contradiction. It's really a disgusting display, because for the people that aren't like that, it makes them feel they're not macho. They're not really a man.
Yeah.
People are confused because the society has set. No, the people that can't fit into that, and they feel that something's wrong with them because they don't. Well, I got a problem with that. And religion does the same thing. And again, I'm not trying to bash religion, because I understand why you have faith in what you have faith in. I understand that. I get it. There's another level to it too, though. And that's called the freedom. And that's when you get to break out of that box. And that's great. And once you break out of that box, you realize how ridiculous it is to argue over some man's words that you never met. And you like, so God didn't write, take a pen and start writing. Like, it didn't, none of that happened. And like all of these other texts, like it's man's opinion.
Yes.
And belief. It's their inspiration, divine inspiration that's come to them. And a lot of it makes sense. But to take that as the authority over your life, you're
Love that.
setting yourself up to be miserable.
Love that.
Miserable. So I'm glad to be free from all that. And I don't even know how I even got on that rant, but oh, never mind. Oh, we were talking divine feminine. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you something. You're a gay man in an industry that used to hide gay men, and now they celebrate them. Everybody paint their toenails pink, and as somebody that just got comfortable with openly saying I'm bisexual or sexually fluid or whatever, and not hiding from it, because I've always talked about it, but uncomfortably. Now I'm just like, but I'm sitting here looking at the LGBT community in the movement going, I want nothing to do with any of that. That's as toxic and it's like, now you've got
haters alert, hater alert. Not you, but they're coming for us.
And yeah, you've got transgender people fighting with gays now, and it's and all the while this is happening, they're desensitizing the shock value of the horrific ass things that are happening. And then comes in the creepy people, and the creepy people are going to make life very hard for the people that just want to love who they want to love and be left alone. What do you say about that? Like, how is that for you? Because you've been out of the closet for a while, and it's not like a secret that you're gay, but what is that like for you when you see all this, the media narrative, the music industry narrative, all this pushing this shit down people's throat? How does it make you feel?
Yeah. So I think that the place that I start when I'm asked about this is that there's a difference between physiologically homosexual and culturally gay.
Okay, wait a second. Is that culturally gay because you're like being pushed? Like, I wonder if I like dick. Oh,
no.
You should get on a step and get drunk and not that. Okay.
No, drag, dance music, the way you talk, the things you talk about. That's what I mean by culturally gay.
I like house music. Does that make me gay?
No. But everyone knows what I mean by what I'm saying, and it's a touchy subject, but I don't care. I haven't cared for a long time. Go ahead, do whatever you want, express however you want across the board, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. That's my belief. But two things. To fit into the gay community, you have to check all the boxes. Otherwise, you personally, I can't handle the gay community because I don't check all the boxes, and I'm not going to fake it. One huge thing that pushed me out. I was in the gay community. We're talking mostly like the club scene, because that's what the gay community is driven on. Period. The gay community thrives on drugs, sex, and music. It just does.
True.
But that's because we were pushed into the closet 100 years ago.
Oh my God! I'm glad we're talking about this. Okay. This is good. Keep going.
That is why the community is the way it is. So there's a purpose for the community, but it needs to evolve, and we glamorize the drug, sex, and clubbing. We glamorize it. So that's the culturally gay. Nails.
Wow.
And also being a woman. Like, That when things started to go in that direction of you have to drag, you have to call everyone girl, you have to act like a girl, you have to walk like a girl. There's nothing wrong with that, but the way that it spread and permeated, and people that I thought were like heteronormative appealing, and remember, this is definitely triggering some people, but hey, we're allowed to our own opinions too, right? This is the problem, that you can't sit there and be LGBTQ community and tell me that I'm not gay or that I'm pissing you off because I'm passing most of the time. All right? That's one problem, that the culturally gay is exclusionary for gay people. That's one problem, that is exclusionary. The second problem is that excess of gayness is toxic, just like that excess of femininity and sex is toxic in the hip hop and pop world. So it's really just like gay is just now men are doing what the women were doing. That's really all it is in the industry. It's the men are doing the same toxic shit that women do. Now the masculine man will just use like fighting and drugs and misogyny as the toxic thing that they do in the community. The straight toxic man, the straight man. The straight woman does the twerking and the big butts and the boobs and the fuck me. And the gay man does the big boobs, the fuck me, and there is no straight man in the gay world, which also sucks. It's like, there is no other side to that, but that I can think of. Because then you're what are you? Then you're like, oh, I'm a sensitive male. Then you're a Shawn Mendes, like whatever. You're a Ed Sheeran.
Beta cuck is what it's called.
What?
Beta cuck?
I don't know that, but yes, you are assumed sensitive. I guess that's the word. Cuck is like it's not beta. Yes.
Beta cuck.
So so that's the other problem that I have. That while it is allowing men and LGBTQ men and women to be free, it doesn't heal the industry. Just because you're allowed to do a bad thing doesn't mean we should be doing a bad thing.
That's okay. That you nailed it, and I share this all the time. So this is my book, The Devil Inside Me, and it's.
I read the blurb.
Okay, well, you get an idea.
I read a little bit about you, yeah.
But here's the thing: I talk about shared about this book that I had no choice but to go in the shadows because that was the only place I could find out what was real. And then with truth, and really to know if something's real for you or not, you've got to speak it and you got to talk about it. You got to walk in that life for a little bit to go, is this real or not? Because when your mind's telling you like something and your body doesn't, that can be, this is from trauma, it's from abuse, it could have been that. And so to explore, because I grew up in Oklahoma, going to church all the time, and there's no outlet except for chat rooms and secret hookups, and then houses and porn theaters.
We're talking the late 90s, right, for you?
Yeah.
So it was literally chat rooms, not apps.
Yeah, now but of course graduated to
same
apps.
thing. Yeah, same thing.
But it really just evolved is all it did.
Yeah, the shadows are the shadows still.
The shadows. And then my double life had a double life, and like I got further deeper down in the shadows. That was the safest place to explore. But when you're in the shadows, you don't know that anyone's ever going to see any of the things that you're doing there. So then you go, you know what? I'm going to shoot some meth. You know what?
Yep.
I'm going to do an extra 8-ball. You know what? I'm going to have sex with 20 people tonight. You just don't think of anything. And then you develop a habit.
Everyone else is doing it too. That's part of it.
Because you're immersed in that world that you think, oh,
this is normal.
Shoot meth and have sex with random people. Sounds fun.
Yes.
And that becomes a whole other level of addiction. It can become this warm, a deceptive warm blanket that's full of heroin needles and poison and awful. But at the same time, I think we have to have compassion for those people. Me, I don't need compassion. I'm not looking at that, but I'm saying if we could have honest conversations around sexuality, people wouldn't have to sneak around.
Oh my God.
To do the shit that they're doing. And besides that, it wouldn't be half as bad as what turns out to be if people felt comfortable. Hey, how about this conversation? But I was molested by men and women. I don't know what's going on with me, but I find myself to be very attractive to both man and woman. And you know what? I don't know how to deal with this in a healthy way. Can somebody help me? Hey, pastor, can you help me without trying to convert me and shame me and make me feel like I'm going to hell, so we can have an honest conversation? Because when the very first words are, the Bible says, I don't give a shit about the Bible after I just got a penis rammed up my ass and another one shoved in my mouth when I'm 7 years old, and I'm told that if I say a freaking word about it, that something bad's going to happen to me. Like that, I'm sorry, I don't need to hear about your Bible, the first word out of your mouth. What I want to hear is compassion, and I want to feel safe to tell the fucking truth about what happened to me. But unfortunately, the society has made it, now it's different now, but society has made it very unsafe to talk about anything that's true. And now we've all the people in the shadows, and then they cheat, and then they give HIV to their partner, or they hurt people, or to protect the lie, they hurt people and they become abusers too. It's a fucking awful existence for people to live when they can't themselves because they fear what is going to come down on them. That is the problem with religion. It's the problem with the way that we do things. And so now you've got people, this is exactly what the design, I believe, was, because we have a whole generation of people who do not know who the heck they are. And it's really sad that America, the world, has an identity crisis. That's the problem. Because we don't feel safe to share the truth.
Wow.
Sorry, I get very passionate about this subject.
Okay. That resonates with me, the not knowing who you are. Not specifically the sexuality, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You're right. We don't know who we are.
Yeah, and sex is just one thing. Well, yeah, I get sex is so powerful. It is a thing, and how it can bring somebody together in a way that makes you inseparable. That sounds lovely, unless if it's a toxic piece of shit that you're attached to. But sex, like sex still has that power.
Of course.
You stay in abusive relationships because you're getting it good. Like people do it all the time. So that's screwed up in itself. But at the same time, sex is not everything. And now we've got a whole generation of people that think their sexuality
is everything.
Is their life? No. And eventually your pecker's going to quit working. And then what are you?
Yep.
You're going to be really miserable. Anyway.
I am learning that right now. I'm learning that I only got love through sex, and it was always with the abusive person. Until this last year, I was in an abusive relationship. Oh yeah.
So you just broke free.
Huh?
You broke free.
Yeah. I've been handled by narcissists my entire life. Until this last year, because I started going to therapy, and because I've known, so segueing into what happens when you don't get these things, right? You become me. So my quick story is that, at least from that, I was in what was I saying? I don't want to start where I forgot where I wanted to start, but either way, I had I'm learning cold mother. Narcissistic mother. Sorry, Mom, I don't care anymore. She stopped talking to me in April because I got arrested defending myself and her property from my abusive person. She hasn't spoken to me since then, basically. She doesn't know the whole story, but it's irrelevant because I'm looking back now that I've been going to therapy, and it's been that way my whole life. She withheld love if I didn't please her. So I had that my whole life. I ended up in this cult, what I call the world's smallest cult, because it was one woman. It still is what it still is, with only a few people like on the ground, but many people online. Same exact thing. Just that was like serious culty, where I was completely stripped of myself. And at the same time, my ex-boyfriend was in the picture, and I knew there was a problem, but I was pushing through that red flag, and I like the sex. Honestly, that's really what it was. I like getting fucked up, and I like having the sex, and he's always there. So we're going to do this because I have nothing else. So all of that combined, now learning that I never really had felt real love, and it was only through sex, and adding on that I only got it by being that submissive
ultra masculine chasing. That's the only way I really was happy. And I'm dealing with that to this day because it's brand new. Literally today, I'm trying to get over that. But I was heavily addicted to cocaine. He was feeding me the cocaine. He was starting to do meth. Like, it was getting to that point. It was getting to that point. And I'm like, thankfully I got out. I guess my point is that I knew all along. A lot of people don't know all along that there's bigger and better out there. All right? My therapist is surprised that I'm not addicted to heroin at my age because of my history.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too. But I also knew from a young age how everything worked. I knew what I was doing. I knew, and most people don't. Most people don't know, and they do it and they die, right? Or they suffer immensely and they don't know why. I knew all of this. I just couldn't get out. Now I'm on the beginning. I've stepped out. I'm still so close to it, but I've stepped out. So I'm starting to see now just life again and starting to figure out who I am for the first time. And it's not music. It's not my sexuality. It's not my partner. It's not my parents. I don't even know. Like, I'm starting to figure out that me inherently is enough. And I preach it all the time, but I had never felt it. I don't know. My therapist said, this week, I'm getting healthy love from a boyfriend right now, and I don't know what to do with it. That's what she said. She said, because I'm still freaking out about the sex, and I'm working on that. I am working on that, and he knows it, if he listens. But she's every time you only got love through the challenge and excitement of sex, and now you're getting love without that, and you don't know what to do. And I think that I need to do these things to validate that love, and I still can't even wrap my head around it quite the way, but that's so true. And wrapping it to the main point is that we have a generation living like this. My way was one way of getting there. Fortunately, I stopped the momentum before I died or hurt someone else, because that's the other side of narcissistic relationships. Malignant narcissistic relationships, serious narcissistic relationships. We're not talking like one person's obsessed with themselves. We're talking about medical, clinical narcissism. Always ends up in judicial, or one person dies and the other goes to jail. It doesn't ever end any other way. So I found myself getting really close to hurting this person. He would constantly hurt me, but I would be the one to get caught. Right? Just like I did in April when I got arrested. I was the one that got arrested, of course, but he's really the criminal. He's the perpetrator. But that's how narcissists operate. And that's another side of it. Like, not knowing who I am, not having enough self-worth is how people fall into these relationships where then they just can't get out. And then they live their entire lives that way. And that's been going on for a long time, but now there's a generation of I don't know who I am, and these are all the symptoms that can come from that.
Yeah, every bit of that resonates with me and all of my past relationships. Of course, I was the narcissist and I was the tyrant, for sure.
Okay.
I think about one of the things that I regret, and I'm somebody that really doesn't live with regret because I found a way, all the bad things I've done in my life, I've found a way to use for good. But at the same time, I fully recognize that some of the things that I've done will never be forgiven, no matter what I do. And I can't apologize any more than I have or any of that other stuff. But looking back at all the bad things that I did, the worst was learn to lie. Because when you learn to lie, and especially when you're trying to protect secrets and other things, and hide it in addiction, hide cheating, hide on and on, people go to great lengths to protect their lies. In fact, some people go to kill people to protect their lies. There's a lot of people will go to extremes. And fortunately, I didn't kill anybody, but I did some horrific things to protect lies. And one of them was gaslighting the shit out of everyone I was with, like a narcissist does, to the point that what happens is by lying, the narcissist robs people, especially women, of their intuition, which a woman's intuition is one of her greatest gifts. And when you're breaking that down, or when I was breaking that down, I'll just own it. When I was doing that, I was robbing her of her God-given gifts that make her great. Obviously, there's a lot of things that make women great, but like intuition is a supernatural spiritual gift that women have. And I robbed that from some people because then it makes them doubt themselves. And when a woman doubts herself, she's not confident. When a woman's not confident, guess what happens? She gets other narcissists come in her life and F her up more. But it happens with men too. And I hate that. That's the part that I want to correct and make right more than anything. And that's why I'm so obsessed with the truth now, because here's the thing. Here's what I wish I would have known. For all you men and women that are in the closet out there, you're living a double life, you're cheating on your partners. Trust me, there's nothing more selfish and awful you can do. Because they will find out eventually. And it's awful. But I will tell you this. Life is a lot easier when you tell the truth. And the only way to really get what you want in life is to be honest about it. And because I am living proof. I never believed in my wildest dreams that after being in jail 6 times, overdosing 6 times, being divorced 3 times, losing my kids, being homeless, having HIV, any of that stuff, I never believed that I was going to ever live the life of my dreams. And I never believed that any woman that, because even though I'm sexually fluid, like I only really want to be with a woman. And I've been blessed to marry the perfect partner for me. And I've got the perfect 2 kids to go along with that partner. And guess what? All that came from being honest. And I am more me today than I have ever been in my entire life, maybe even since the day I was born. But that all came from telling the truth.
The truth.
And if you are one of those people that you don't believe in monogamy and you don't believe that you feel like you need to be able to sleep with men and women or be in a relationship with both, and you think, well, they'll never go for that. Yeah, they will. If you're honest and you're filling up your partner's love tank, you're going to get a lot more than you ever dreamed of, because love makes people do crazy things. It's just true. But being honest, and at the same time, think about all the years it adds to your life, because you're not trying to cover up for your lies.
Yeah. The physical stress doesn't.
Anyway, sorry for the public service announcement.
That's the point. The whole thing is our whole lives are a public service announcement.
That's a good point. So, my man, what's next for you? What are you working on now? What are you working on right now?
I have a song called Dark Nights coming out February 15th. It's about drugs. You heard a preview of it. Yeah.
Oh, I love this song. The lyrics are amazing.
I wrote that song in 2013 when I was witnessing addiction firsthand for the first time. I was in New York City. That was about 2 years deep. And I had a best friend named Chad as well, who was like 10 years older than me in the gay community, but we became really good friends. He took me under his wing. He was a really good friend. And just a friend. And it was great. And I needed that. But
you think some gay people don't want to have sex with everyone they see?
That's a great point. No.
I know.
No. But that's great for people listening.
Some people don't know that.
I know. That's why I'm glad you said it, because some people don't.
Buttholes, everyone. We're coming.
Right, we're coming. We're going to make everybody gay. You might like it.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
So he had told me that he had been an addict. He was an addict, is an addict, I guess. I don't have my whole opinions on the presence, the tense of addict. But he was clean, and then he wasn't. And I had never witnessed someone it was either barbiturates or benzos. I don't know if they're the same thing, but like a really slow one, and you can't talk. Slurring words, climbing higher. The lyrics are slurring words, climbing higher. I literally used his presence to write the song for him to help. So I wrote it back then, and I was 23, so I was like still convinced that I was gonna be fine. I hadn't done any hard drugs by then, except Molly, which whatever, that's a hard drug. But if it's not fucking up my whole life, I'm not an addict. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a drug user as long as I can keep my life together. Okay.
I'm a highly functional meth addict.
Yep, high functioning. So I wrote the song. I produced the song. I performed it for a few years, and then it faded away. I just had it. I always had it though. And then through this last 2 years, where I was heavily reliant, I had a drug problem. Right? I had a drug problem. I had an alcohol problem. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict, but I had a problem. And I want I want to change the words on that, because labeling someone an addict for their life doesn't help.
No.
You're not.
Then you say, I am an addict.
And that's the problem that I had with AA, because I went for 6 weeks because it was the only thing I needed. It was the only thing I had because I was so cut off from the world at this point. I went to AA, and it helped me stabilize a little bit. And then I was like, oh, this is just another cult. Bye. But yeah, that's another topic. So either way, then I went through my own addiction journey, and I was like, well, shit, I love that song because it's so real lyrically and also sonically. I just loved it. So I decided to bring it back up. And the fact that now drugs are glamorized, right? That's another layer. Not only my personal journey, but like the fact that drugs are glamorized and we have somebody die once a year at least from drugs on the people that are on the charts. At least one person dies a year. Rappers specifically, where all this toxic music is coming from. Guys, do you see a point here? And I'm going to say that it's not rap. The genre got hijacked by the mentality. Okay, being very careful with my words. It's not black people. It's not rappers. It's not the rap music. It's the mentality that hijacked this lifestyle, whatever, this genre, this community. And this song is my first like song releasing under the new brand Pop for Good. That's like a song that has never been said this way on this sound. It's my very first, like, my sword is in the ground and here I am. Come talk to me. Let's talk about it. It's not talk to me. It's let's talk about. It's like we're talking about this whether you like it or not. Period. Is what this says. And that's February 15th. I don't know if this is going to come out before then, but either way.
No, it'll come. It will be out. We turn these around pretty quick. But am I allowed to share it?
On the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to come back. So offend more people. And I don't. Here's the thing. Neither one of us are wanting to offend anyone. It's just some things are freaking ridiculous. And it's everything's not right or wrong because some things both can be right. And it doesn't. There's more shade of gray than there is right and wrong.
I want to touch on that.
Yeah.
For that, this is touching back on my toxic positivity stage era, where I was like flowers and bunnies and trees and hippies and sage and crystals, and that's all there is, because why would anyone want anything bad in their lives? But the way that I've come to realize, the way that I've come to describe it now is that there is a place for everything. Yin and yang, right? Male and female, positive, negative. You can't have one without the other. Humans perceive bad things as bad. We created the word bad. But animals, a good way of putting this is like when animals die, they don't worry, right? They might flail and scream like while they're getting killed by a lion, but they're not afraid of death. They live in the moment like nobody's business. They don't know how to not live in the moment. Yes, they might be thinking about getting food or sleeping, but they are not thinking about what color their car is or what their nails look like. They are living in the moment. And that is the gray area. And that's where most of time is spent in life if we do it right. So the darkness, which is darkness, perceive it bad, right? And it is bad. Humans we need words. It's all we have is words. My dad would say that. Says that. He's still alive. But he's 85 or 6, so he's kicking. All we have are words. So darkness is the word I use. We need a balance, but right now it's out of balance. Darkness has taken over. We've been desensitized to the darkness because of many other reasons, which is a whole other conversation. All I want to do is bring balance back. And then we can go from there, because maybe we do need more light for like a couple generations. But balance is what it's about. It's not about eradicating darkness. It's not about eradicating rap music. It's not about eradicating twerking and trap. It's not about eradicating drugs. It's not about eradicating anything. It's about bringing balance back, and that's it.
I could not agree with you more. The knowledge of good and evil sure mess things up, because now if somebody labels it evil, and if you were brought up learning something was evil and being told that your whole life, it's going to be very hard for you to ever change that perception. And The truth is, is it really? Who said it was bad? There's Christians, some Christians practice yoga and others say that it's evil. And like
it means breathing and stretching.
Stretching and breathing
was evil.
And I'm like, okay, so you're doing it in front of a statue, but what about that Jesus painting at your church. That's not even really Jesus. That's the Pope's son. At least the Jesus image that we have is the Pope, the former Pope's son. I can't even pronounce his name. I won't even try. But that guy loved prostitutes. He was bisexual, and he really loved drug-fueled sex orgies. And that's the image of Jesus we have and that you worship in your home. You want to talk about standing in front of an altar and posing and doing and breathing exercises. Okay, I get that, but just understand that it's hypocritical as F.
Glass house.
Crazy. What?
Glass house.
Yeah, a bunch of glass houses. It's just crazy, man. I hope people get to a place where they start to see, okay, some of this is really silly. Some of this has a ton of value. It can change people's lives, but we don't need to trick people. We don't need to convert people. We don't need to fool people. We don't need to judge people, and we don't need to throw Bibles at people to get them to change their life. Because if you're there showing up for people in a way of saying, I'm here for you. If you need anything, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. If you need a place to stay, you can come here. I'll feed you. I'll take care of you. I'll help bring you back.
Oh, the teachings of Christ?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that sounds a lot like the Jesus that I follow. Like, why I follow Jesus's teachings is for that right there.
Yep.
Because that is how that's what we're here for. None of that was throw scripture in people's face, make them feel guilty, beat the shit out of them, judge them, ridicule them. You're not bringing people back to heart center in a place of love when you make them feel like shit. It's just never going to happen, ever. Standing outside of abortion clinics, I don't want to see babies die. I never want to see a baby die or be murdered because somebody was irresponsible. Yes, I understand people get raped. I get that. And that's why my opinion doesn't matter. Me standing outside of an abortion clinic, telling you that you're going to hell and you're a murderer. Yeah.
And the amount, like, for people that do these things and just in general, I keep saying doo-doo. Nah. I swear I'm mature. For people that the amount of energy that it takes to be angry for that long at something futile gives you cancer. Okay? I have a very controversial view on cancer, but I think a lot of people are starting to get it.
Yeah.
And we're weird. I didn't even mean to talk about cancer, and I'm not talking about cancer. But cancer is just stress manifest like a motherfucker. If you're spending that much energy, you're going to get sick. Like, it's literally throwing it bounces off me and sticks to you is metaphysically real.
Yeah. Metaphysically, absolutely real.
Yep.
You're right, because one of my friends, Pamela Gregory is her name. She's known as the Forgiveness Queen. She lives in Los Angeles. She travels the country going to hospitals, cancer facilities, and helps people through the forgiveness process. And I don't know the stats and figures. I don't remember them because it's been a few years since I heard it. But I'm not telling you that she's curing cancer, but I'm telling you a lot of people got to go home, and I'm not talking heaven either.
Yeah. I love that.
There's something to that. And there's some people that say that cancer shows up in your body to heal. And then we come in with the chemo.
Pay attention to what is exactly. That is what it is. That is what it is.
I just know enough about the history of the American Medical Association, the history of psychiatry. Are you in New York or LA?
I'm outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, you're in Philly. Okay.
I lived in New York for 10 years.
Okay. There's the Psychiatry Museum of Death in LA. And oh my gosh, that is eye-opening.
I wanted to see that.
It ties into slavery. It ties into the Holocaust. And then when you read the mission statement of the origins at the very beginning of psychiatry, when you read their mission statement and you look at what's happening in the world to now, my God, have they been trying to kill us like even before we were alive? What's going on?
What's the mission statement? What's the mission statement?
I don't remember the whole thing, but essentially,
but the gist.
Using medicine to take the soul is the gist.
In a bad way.
In a bad way.
In the people, the powers that be, eating up our energy.
As in,
Jesus!
If you read the study,
the pineal gland,
the antidepressants, There's actual real studies out of Israel about this. Oh, I just zoomed in.
I saw that. It looks great.
All this thing like this. Anyway, stupid AI. I'm sorry, being up so.
We should call it AS, artificial stupid, because it's not intelligent.
Or the operator is not very smart. Talk
That's
too much. But there's studies that actually talk about the calcification of the pineal gland with these antidepressants. There's more medications that do the same thing. You think about the fluoridization of our water,
Yeah.
toothpaste, and the aluminums in our toothpaste. All of that stuff calcifies the pineal gland. So why would they want to do that? Does it rob our intuition? Does our ability to discern between good and evil, is that affected? Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why they do this. And I probably started before Hitler, but nonetheless, we have been getting experimented on in a lot of different ways, and it's all coming to a head now. And that's why what I love about what you're doing and why I believe it matters so much is because the world's not ending. The world as we know it is gone.
Yes.
And we're going into a new world, but we creators, us artists, us talented people, we have the responsibility, which is a great responsibility if you ask me.
Burden.
It
doesn't have to be. I'm just saying some of it is a burden. It's not all.
But it was a starving artist is a burden, because that is, for the love of art, your sacrifice.
Yeah.
But that said, those days, there's going to be no more starving artists, because the starving art, there could be if you're a junkie, but the artists have this opportunity to rebuild the new world.
Yes.
And to do things and make it right and make it fair for other people. And our art, our creation gets to be a part of that. And we all get to do this together. So people like yourself that are fighting the sinister side of an industry that is the ultimate power industry of all industries, the entertainment world, media, music, all the same thing, really. It's the most powerful medium on the planet. And it's people like yourself that are going to help reshape that. And so I'm honored to know you. I've had so much fun having this conversation. You are welcome back anytime. In fact, I would love it if you would come back and play the song that I've already heard, because I want to play it now. But like, you're welcome back anytime. You have our full support. I'm a huge fan of you, and I just really am grateful for your time today.
Thank you so much.
But before we go,
I'm grateful too. Am I closing out yet? Tell me when I say my closing statement.
No, it's not. I was just going to give you the opportunity. I want you to plug anything and everything you want. I'm going to give you can take all the time you want to plug what you want to plug and share whatever final message you have.
Pop for good is the message right now. Be conscious of what you're listening to. Check in with yourself. See if what you're listening to makes you feel the way you want to. If you want to feel sad and down and validate that, do it. But if you have the radio on and a song comes on that you don't resonate with, change it. Just because everyone else is listening to it, if you are realizing that there's something weird, and no one else around you doesn't, you're the one that's right. Like you doesn't matter. You go with your gut. So that's like when people ask me, what's the best advice you would give like someone? It's listen to your gut, because it's always right.
Unless if you're drunk.
Unless you're drunk, listen to your sober gut.
Yeah.
Listen to and yeah, that's what. So Pop for Good is a consciousness. It's holding the industry accountable. But also it's like the world is individuals. The entities don't exist. Corporations. The definition of corporation is like a group of people. So you're one person, and you need to keep yourself healthy. So listen, Pop for Good is like calling it out. I'm losing my thought a little bit, but that's the final takeaway of my music. That this year is like launching Pop for Good. People are catching on to it. The very small amount right now that are listening to me are catching on, and if you feel any urge and you feel like there's a problem with the music industry, don't double down on it. We'll double down on it, but be twice as loud about it. Because it's not, I'm a spark. through my toxic positivity phase where I was like the savior, I've learned that there are plenty of other people like me, like yourself, 100% like yourself. My role is just to spark it. And I also want to enjoy my life, so I don't want to have to work this hard forever. But I'm working every day. Every moment of my life is spent doing this. And that's my whole purpose for being here, is to raise awareness and be one of those contributors. That I love the way you said that artists are going to build this new world. We're going to change the world as we know it. And I'm one of the few, but not the only, messengers.
That's right.
Well, I had a reading with a friend, tarot reading last year, that it was more than tarot, it was oracle, just in general a reading, because I had been so scathed from my cult experience with everything energy, so I was like staying away from it all. But what came through was a ton of swords, which is where my brand came from. The protector brand is what it's like. Really, I'm assuming the protector of the industry, of the sanctity of music, protecting the sanctity of music. That's what Pop for Good is. And a bunch of swords came through, and then one of the last cards was Gabriel with his trumpets.
Huh.
And I have a lyric it's been ego driven most of my life. 5 or 6 years ago, I dropped the ego, and it's still the same thing. It's a message. It's a message. Straight from the heavens down I was sent. I'm a messenger, many galaxies crossed. And that's what we're here. There's a bunch of us that are just starting to get our voice. And you heard it here
Time
first.
to have that voice too.
Yep.
Voices of truth, voices that are not here to hurt people, that really have best interest of other people, without judgment, without fear, and without dictating what people should and should not do with their lives, because it's really none of our damn business, except for to be there for people and to be an example of love. And
Amen.
I support your mission. I love what you're up to, and I look forward to definitely doing this again.
Me too. This is a great space.
Thanks, brother. Thank you for being here.